Welcome back to another video from the Debate Room Podcast. It's episode 123. Before we even get started, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like the video, follow our social media up at the top of the screen. Last video we dropped was our mock draft. Did pretty well on YouTube and TikTok, so we appreciate the love. More NBA and draft content coming very, very soon, especially over this break, so be in tune for that. But we are back with some NFL football talk, as you can see by the title of the video. Right now, I know at least me, Jaden, and Max are preparing for finals. Semester is almost over. We're on the home stretch. After this, I gotta go to class, and then I gotta finish a research paper. But we're in the home stretch, bro. Just trying to finish this semester off strong, get this shit over with, bro. I'm tired. So if we're not like consistent with the uploads, that's the reason why. Until we finish school and our schedule get a little more free over break, then that's when we'll get consistent with the basketball and football uploads. I do have a question of the day today. So Thanksgiving obviously was a few days ago. It's holiday times. So my question of the day is, I want you guys to tell me one thing you're thankful for as far as your basketball team, your football team, favorite players, anything like that. One thing you're thankful for in regards to sports. Q, start off, man. Talk about your Ravens, Pistons, Cavs. What are you gonna do?
What I'm thankful for.
I know your answer, Max. I know your answer. I think.
I don't know if you will.
No, I'm thankful for Josh Allen. Somehow, some way, he's doing exactly what he did the past 4 years, but now it's finally getting looked at properly in the right light. And all he needed Stephon Diggs talk, and they're gonna fall off talk, and the Jets are better than them talk. It finally has calmed down, and we can finally start giving the Bills the proper credit they deserve.
Max, what you thankful for?
What do you think I'm gonna say?
Isaiah Hartenstein. That's what you should be saying.
I was just gonna say Sam Presti.
Okay.
I just think I'm thankful as a whole for Sam Presti. All the moves that have been made as a whole for that Thunder organization. Obviously, in the first couple of years, it was kind of heartbreaking trading Harden and everything. But since then, it's been sunshines and rainbows with Sam Presti's GM moves. But no, you also got to say Caleb. I can't be mad at all with Caleb. Just having Caleb there, the talent that he has shown. Again, you don't have to think he's had a great season this year, because from a numbers perspective, he hasn't. But seeing the progression of that quarterback position, I think Caleb is definitely in a position, especially with the new head coaching hire, to be one of the best Bears quarterback we've ever had. So,
man, I'm thankful for Drake May and Bryce Young, because man, with Aaron Rodgers falling off a cliff this year, Mahomes playing like average for his standards, Bryce Young, it was really, really, really murky to start, and it looked like his career was over. He's made a comeback in these last 4 or 5 weeks. Been playing some really good football. He's looking like a number 1 overall pick. We're gonna talk about that later. Drake May, all things considered, has arguably been the best quarterback in this class, considering his situation. Is that crazy? I don't know what we're doing. Listen, when I watch the film, I look at on the field, he looks the best. I'm sorry, out of everybody.
The best, but
yes,
over a 3-game stretch or the whole season.
I mean, over the time he played, it's been like 5-6 games, not the whole season. I'm talking about since he's played. Yes,
I don't know. I'm still
Jaden
probably.
We can talk about it later, but Jaden Daniels.
That's not his class.
Drake May.
Sorry. He thought you were talking about Bryce. He thought you were talking about Bryce.
I'm talking about. I could have sworn I said Drake May. I'm talking about Drake May.
You said both, and I think it was confusing. But yeah, I thought you were talking about Drake May.
Hey, all hail Drake, baby. That's my guy.
No,
I thought you were talking about Bryce. I'm like,
I'm not gonna get that crazy. I'm not gonna get that crazy about Bryce. We're gonna talk about it later, but I'm not gonna get that crazy about Bryce. Drake though. Drake though on film. I don't know. Obviously, some of the numbers don't back it up. And it hasn't been leading to wins, but
you give the situation too. Obviously, you give the same thing to everybody else.
So I'm thinking Drake. That's my new white boy. Aaron falling off. So Drake, that's my guy. Mahomes is black. I don't know what we're doing. I got Drake, 6'5", 220, man. Probably more than that, man. He's making me happy. Then Bryce.
Stop. Yeah. Punch on the neck, bro. You
Crazy, man.
Bryce, hey, Bryce, he coming back. So I'm happy for my young quarterbacks in the NFL. I need to tell your team soon. I don't know where I'm gonna go because I can't be a Patriots fan.
I was gonna say that was your one take coming out of the draft was you'll be a Drake, whatever team Drake may go to, you'll be that fan unless it's New England.
I might rock with the Chargers, but I don't know yet.
If I was you, if you want to start clean, rock with the Chargers.
Why are you a Chargers fan? Why would you want to rock with that?
I fuck with Justin Herbert. I don't know how much
you can be a fan of the
I don't remember you ever being on the Justin Herbert train.
But it's better for you to do the Patriots because you go through the struggles, and once Drake May actually hits off, you were there from the bottoms, and you could say you've been there.
You can't be a Patriots fan. Being a Patriots fan is terrible.
And I'm going. You know me. I'm gonna start claiming it. I'm gonna start claiming that we can get to these conversations. I'm gonna be like, listen, I got 7 rings.
I don't think you could be a Chargers fan because you're gonna actively root for Mahomes to keep balling.
Yeah, I'm not. I probably want to be because yeah. As long as Mahomes is on the Chiefs, I probably won't do that. But yeah, I mean, Max, man, me and you talk about football and basketball literally every day, so that's why you don't know exactly who everybody I root for.
All I'm saying is that I've been a Justin Herbert fan on this podcast, and I feel like you had the MVP. You said the MVP comment a couple weeks ago. That was it.
I mean, I guess. Let's get to the show. Let's get to the show. What was that? The Eagles took care of business versus the Ravens. Marquee matchup. Dominated them, to be honest. The Ravens had a few drops, a few missed kicks from Justin Tucker.
3
missed kicks from Tucker, 2 field goals and 1 extra point. So what did he leave? 7 points on the table. Left 22 points on the table through the last 5 games, I think, or something like that. 3 or 5 losses.
I thought I heard he missed 10 kicks this year. Is that the right number?
He's fell off. We'll talk about that in the scope of this conversation, but
maybe more.
My question to y'all from this game, though, did the Eagles prove that they were the best team, that they are the best team in the NFL after this game against the Ravens?
Go ahead, Max.
No. Simple as that, no. Other teams that beat Baltimore this year, I don't think, especially because they had so many mess-ups. I get what you're saying, a dominant win. Obviously, Saquon played great. This was they won the game. I think even with all the kicks and stuff, but it was still a close game. And we got to remember that the Chiefs did beat this team, and I know it's week 1. The Raiders beat this team. Baltimore has shown that they can play down to other teams' levels at times. And I'm not saying I guess that Philly is a bad team at all. I'm just saying you can catch them on a bad day at the same time. Do I think that they're runaway the best team in the NFL? No. Are they a top 2 team in the NFC? Yes. Are they maybe better than Detroit right now with the injuries, especially after this Thanksgiving Day week, with how many injuries went down in Detroit? That honestly, it could be true. I think Philly could be, a talent-wise and a current roster-wise, they could be the best team in the NFC because of who they have to, the injuries that Detroit has to deal with. But I think there's a team in New York, and I still think that Kansas City has to put their name in the hat. But I think if I'm picking the best team right now in the league, I might go with Buffalo, and that's for the simple fact that I think Josh Allen is the best player in the NFL right now. And it's a couple of things kind of picking up on each other. And again, that I think that means Casey. I'm not trying to say Casey's not a contender. I still have him as a contender, and that's not me saying I'm nervous. I'm just saying as a whole, everyone's had their concerns. I think that Buffalo could be the best team as it currently stands. And if they get that 1 seed, especially going into Buffalo, a snowy Buffalo in the playoffs is not easy. But I do not think that the Eagles are far and away the best team in the league. I think there are definitely other teams that need to be considered when we have that conversation. But let's not take away from them. From the start of the year to now, it's a complete 180 from Philly. They looked disorganized. They looked sloppy. They looked bad at times in the start of the season. And they have fully come around to be a cohesive team. The young guys on the defensive side, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean are playing well. Saquon's obviously having a transcendent season. And Jalen Hurts is getting the job done with a good coaching staff. Sirianni looks like he's having fun, and the fans look like they're eating it up. So as a whole, I think this team is culture-wise completely different than the team we saw earlier, but I'm not ready to say that they're the best team in the league right now.
Best team in the league, I think that could go 1 of 4 places. Best team in the NFC, I would say that they definitely are the best team in the NFC, and I think they should be the favorites to make the Super Bowl. They play their style. They do exactly what they're gonna do. They're going to run the ball, and now they have an electric running back, so it's like doesn't have to get super schemed up all the time. They don't always have to get great blocking because he's going to make something happen. They got A.J. Brown for third and long when things get sticky. Throw it at him. Pretty much a good option. When Smitty's there, you can do the same thing with him. He's a great contested catch. He knows how to get open, good hands, good route runner. But their offense is simple. They're asking Jalen Hurts not to throw the ball as much. They're like a bottom 5 pass offense, but they're running the ball more. We know they can run the ball. They dominate in the trenches. And defensively, I didn't think Vic Fangio was going to make this a top 10 defense. I was Vogel. Said he wasn't good. He got ran out of Miami in the beginning. It looked shaky, but apparently Vic Fangio defenses take some time to gel. They finally clicked. Jalen Carter's going crazy. They're 2 draft picks. They definitely panned out. Zach Bond has been an all-pro linebacker. They're still getting production off the edge. Brandon Graham just went out, but they still got extra edge rushers. All those Georgia players are finally starting to break out. They're doing everything. I think defensively, they definitely are better than the Lions. Offensively, they're not better than the Lions, but Saquon by himself could single-handedly, win you a game. Has he done all year? That's why he's in the MVP conversation. Best team in the league, no, but definitely the best team in the NFC.
If I had to pick a Super Bowl winning team today, I'm picking the Philadelphia Eagles right now. They have been the best defense in the league over the last 8 to 10 weeks. Their offense is top 5, even though it's heavily reliant on a run game. I think when Devontae Smith comes back from injury, their passing offense will be a lot better. They look much improved from last year with their defense, with their play calling. And Jalen Hurts hasn't been Superman, but he also is being safe with the ball, not making many mistakes. And they're winning games. They're probably one of the hottest teams in the entire NFL right now. If I had to pick a team to win a Super Bowl, I'm picking the Eagles because of their defense. I understand Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and the championship pedigree that they have, but their defense is shaky at best. It is. I mean, I think they're still a good defense, but they can definitely be scored on with their secondary being as vulnerable as it is. And we know that the Eagles have some of the best weapons in the league. The Bills are a very, very good team. I would say they're contenders. They have the MVP in the NFL this year in Josh Allen. But I think the weapons on the outside is still questionable. And I think their defense struggles against the run. So every team has weaknesses for sure. And I think the Phillies' weaknesses is probably coaching. Nick Sirianni still doesn't deserve your trust, but I think Kellen Moore is a good coordinator, and I think Vic Fangio is a great coordinator. I know his questions after his stint with the Denver Broncos and his stint with the Miami Dolphins, but during the last few weeks of the season, they played a lot better in Miami, and now you can see how he's changed his defense on the Eagles. This team has an MVP candidate in Saquon Barkley, who is the best running back in the entire NFL. He's the best running back in the entire NFL. CMC included, healthy. I don't care. He's still better than him, in my opinion. So this team has a defense. They have a top 5. Huh?
I say he was better than both of them early in the season, by the way.
You did say that. They have an elite defense. They have a top 5 offense. As long as Nick Sirianni doesn't ruin this for them and Jalen Hurts just plays without making a lot of mistakes, they can win a Super Bowl because of their elite defense, their elite weapons on offense, their elite offensive line, their elite running game. They can do it for sure. I think they're the best team in the league. And I know it's kind of hard to say that because Kansas City is who Kansas City is. But I just added a topic. We'll talk about them later. Why I have my doubts for Kansas City as a team. Their defense, their secondary, it's not. I'm not comfortable with it. I'm not comfortable with how Mahomes is playing. I'm not comfortable with their weapons. I know they're going to get a lot more talent because they are 11-1. They're about to get Hollywood Brown back. They're about to, I think, like a few more weeks. They're about to get Pacheco back. I believe. I don't think Watson is out for the year.
Pacheco was back last week and just like running back.
I don't think Watson is out for the year. I don't think he is. I think he's coming back potentially. He out for the year?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. We're gonna get back to that.
Yeah, I know they have some more talent coming back. We'll talk about the Chiefs. I have a whole topic about the Chiefs later. The Lions, they're dealing with injuries.
All the defense side of the ball too. It's all the defense was the issue coming into this year. I feel like, and they're just getting more and more injuries on the defensive side.
The Lions are dealing with injuries, and I'm never going to trust Jared Goff, like ever. So, yeah. But outside of that, I think they have Lions specifically have an elite offensive mind. Aaron Glenn, it will be a head coaching candidate this year. Dan Campbell is a good head coach because of the way he leads men's. But his like in-game decision making still is questionable. I don't think it's clear cut at all, but I made the take they were going to the Super Bowl before the year. I'm sticking with it. And they've done nothing but validate my take over the last 10 weeks. Coming into the season, I knew that Kellen Moore would be an upgrade over Brian Johnson. I knew Vic Fangio would be an upgrade over Matt Patricia. I knew it would take time for their rookies to develop and play well, but Quinyon Mitchell has been elite. Why am I blanking on his name?
Cooper
DeJean has been really good. Jalen Carter has looked elite. Their defense is just performing well on all facets right now. But
he's out. Yeah, Jalen Watson out for the season.
Yeah,
broke his ankle.
I know they got some help. They got some help coming. The Chiefs do. I just don't. There's somebody else on their defense.
The lineman, the D lineman, Charles Amenahu.
Yeah. So yeah, I do have the Eagles as the best team in the league, and I do think they'll be. If I had to pick a team to win the Super Bowl right now, it literally would be them. It would be, and I know it's hard to pick against Kansas City, but we'll talk about it later. You guys, the next question, because this is a two-team game, obviously. We can talk. Well, I don't think any of us have Saquon Barkley for MVP right now, so I don't know how much you got to talk about that.
I think it's close.
You think it's close?
Goes. What is he? 2 or 3?
No, I think he's 2.
Above
Lamar Jackson.
I'm saying you got.
Oh, God, Josh Allen probably right now he's the favorite right now. Technically,
that's what I'm saying. I probably have Josh, Lamar, than Saquon.
I would have Josh, Saquon, Lamar.
That's how I got it. That's right.
I think the only way Saquon actually gets
put too many losses, and he's underperforming some of those losses as well.
The only way that Saquon, I think, actually has a shot to win is if he hits what he needs, that 2,200 yards. Is that the number?
For him to win, he has to break the record. If he comes close, they're just gonna be like,
2,200 is, I think he's 700 away, and he's got like 5 games left. I think that's what I was doing today.
Probably something like that.
I was talking, so he's got to be get 140, 150 a game, which again, with what's been happening, is doable. But is it all purpose or just rushing?
Just rushing, because all purpose, he's not on pace no more. That's CJ's record. It's like 25, 36.
Okay.
My next question, as far as this game, is: are the Ravens serious contenders with their defensive struggles?
They're
but their defense the last couple weeks have looked a lot better than what it did, previously. What the Ravens do is, like Lamar says in the press conference, they beat themselves. They're one of the most penalized teams. That really comes back to coaching. Well, I'm very vocal on John Harbaugh. He's not like, obviously he's a good coach, but he's not like elite, because there's certain things like he gets like, you want the coach that believe in their players, but like he believes in his players too much to a fault sometimes. Like sometimes you got to learn like how to change the range, and then sometimes it's a play calling issue. There's always something in each one of these games. It's not like they losing the games all the same way. It's just something is going wrong. It's like a spin the wheel, and that whatever it lands on, that's what went wrong that game. Like sometimes it's a Derrick Henry carry issue. Sometimes it's the penalties. Sometimes the secondary is getting torched. Last night it was a little of them forcing Lamar to be in the pocket, and not that Lamar's not a great pocket passer, because he is, but he's making the strikes. They're manning up with Zay Flowers and Bateman and them out there, and like, yeah, we good, we got them alone, because they land that D line, just do what they do, and you're throwing past Nelson Aguilar. That's a better receiver. That's a catch. So Nelson Aguilar, he's gonna drop it. Zay Flowers is cool. He's not that cool. Like certain things, like sometimes the outside talent doesn't perform. Sometimes Lamar doesn't take the running lanes he got there. Sometimes it's Derrick Henry not getting enough carries. Sometimes, like I said, the defense is getting torched. It's something different every game. You can't trust a team like that when they could just lose any way, any style, and at any moment, at any time during the season. Like it just doesn't. It's not conducive to like winning football because you don't know what to button up.
I'm just watching the on-field product. I don't think the Ravens are contenders to win a championship this year. The defense has been one of the worst in the league this entire season. I know it got better recently, but I'm talking about as the whole season we're talking right now. I don't trust their pass catchers at all, like at all. Zay Flowers is a really good receiver. Outside of that, it's no one that's really been consistent throughout the entire season. They drop passes, they fumble the ball, they get too many penalties. It's no consistency. Lamar is amazing. He's a top 3 quarterback in the world, but his playoff resume instills no confidence in me to have him as a contender. They have too many weaknesses. I know every team has a weakness. The Ravens' weaknesses, penalties. The offensive line isn't playing the best. The defense isn't playing the best. The coaching is questionable. They're not in that upper echelon. They're not. Even though they smacked the Bills, so it's kind of hard to even put the Bills over them. But that was so many weeks ago now.
That's why that doesn't matter.
Like
that was a different team. Like
yeah.
Like I don't want to spend too much time on, but that was just a different team and a bad matchup. Like you heard me talk about in Discord yesterday. Physicality, especially like a physical team that dominated the trenches, always has been a weakness for the Bills. Like if they get the run game going, it's quiet. CMC almost had a game. Looked like he was gonna have a game yesterday. Like the running game, that type of like if they play the Eagles, Saquon will go run all over them. I think that's just like a matchup thing. But go ahead.
It's kind of hard not to say they're contenders though, because could they beat the Bills in the playoffs? Maybe, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm trusting Josh Allen in the playoff game more than Lamar Jackson. I know that's not how football works, but Josh Allen is one of the best playoff performers in NFL history. I'm not picking them over the Chiefs, even in their current state. Outside of that, they should have a shot against it. Well, they should be beating anybody else because AFC is pretty like average at this moment. Like
who we thought were gonna be good turns out like who we thought were gonna be the great teams. There aren't the great teams. They're just pretty good.
I think there's 2 contenders in the AFC, and it's the Bills and the Chiefs. That's what it is.
And I would say there's 2 in the NFC.
Does that answer your question? You're saying they're not contenders, Max?
I don't know what you want me to say. Like they're like
2.5. I think like it's 2.5 because it's the Eagles and the Lions, and I think I think somebody could convince themselves on the Packers.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, you're not convincing me right now.
Well, trust me, I don't care. I thought that
you're getting someone else. That's fine, but my only thing is like what you were saying. If you want to say that the Ravens are 3 or 4, sure. I won't push it really far past you. Like they could be the 3rd or 4th best team. So if you want to say it's a contender, I don't know. I'm at a point where it's like Lamar alone gets them to significantly a better chance over whatever 80% of the AFC. Like looking at the other teams, who would beat them? Pittsburgh beat them this year. Would they beat them in a playoff game? It's a different game, obviously. The Chargers they beat the Chargers. Sorry, Chargers lost the Ravens. The Texans don't look really great right now. They look like they have issues. So like when you're really like sizing every team up, yeah, the Bills and the Chiefs, I'll take both of them. But I'm not really like hard pressed to say like this team is so much better than the Ravens. Like no, it really doesn't. Like you can keep them 3, and I'm fine with that.
All right, that's enough talking about. We spent 24 minutes on that one game. Let's move on to the Bills. Crushed the 49ers. They dominated them. The 49ers are plagued with injuries. Just lost CMC for the entire season. I want to talk about the 49ers, of course, but we start off with Q. This is the year the Bills finally get it done. Finally made the Super Bowl and win it. Finally, the year Josh Allen gets MVP. It's the year finally for the Bills. Is this the year?
It feels like it because this is the best they ever like. They've had great seasons, but at this point in time, they were never a 2-loss team. They were always like 8-4 or something like that. They're like on pace to have their best season yet. Josh Allen's number is not what it used to be, but that's based on situation, and they're running the ball a lot more. Like they're pretty like even 50-50 split with the run pass. The team is just, I think it's more complete, and I think people who didn't understand that. Once the team gelled and they got hit their stride, everything just started clicking. They scored 30 points straight, like 30 points in like 9 straight games. They're back. And Josh Allen, even he's playing the same, but obviously the turnovers are not there. And like T said, he's a great playoff performer. All the turnover thing, all that is like regular season play. He really, once he gets to the postseason, he does not turn the ball over. But now he's not turning the ball over in the regular season, so that's giving them extra possessions, extra time to go down the field, time to actually score the ball without pressing, and it's working out. Defense is top 10. A lot of people expected to fall off because they lost a 32-year-old safety. Okay, whatever. Obviously, it didn't really matter. Nobody expected Matt Milano to go down, but Sean McDermott always seems to put a good defense on the field. I think if they see the Chiefs in the playoffs, it's more 50-50 now than ever before. I think they were always 50-50, but I'm pretty sure people always pick the Chiefs, and like the game just turned out to be one-score games. But I think now, like, somebody could confidently pick the Bills and to beat the Chiefs, and they're probably gonna have to see the Chiefs in the championship game. So they probably, I give it a 60% chance that they get to the Super Bowl. MVP, there's still 5 games left. Anything can happen. They could go on a skid. If they lose 2 more games and don't get the 1 seed, he probably not gonna get it.
The game versus Detroit's huge.
Yeah, if they beat Detroit, then he's definitely getting MVP. Because after that is just 2 Patriots games.
I'm pretty sure he's definitely getting it now.
Hope so. Be good.
I don't know.
They won the division. Lamar is probably not going to win the division. Saquon is not going to get the MVP. I'm sorry. I think if CMC didn't get it last year,
if he breaks the record, I think they're going to give him the. I think they're going to give but Josh has to lose that. If he loses that Lions game and Saquon breaks the record, Saquon getting MVP.
They'll put Saquon in some crazy talks. I ain't gonna lie. Not too many running backs win MVPs. That should put him in some crazy talks.
Yeah, they used to. They running back used to win that.
But yeah, I don't know because his injuries, his like total yards and shit, not all that great because he kept getting banged up.
Yeah, but Gale Sayers only played like 6 years. Aaron Sanders played a short amount of time.
Max, you were gloating about having the Bills contenders. You throwing in my face that I said I wanted to wait on it.
I'm not even gloating. I thought it was just a dumb take. Like you weren't thinking the Bills were going to do something.
That was a dumb take. That was a dumb take. That was just my lead into the question, bro. That was just my lead into the question. Calm down. Now, my whole point was saying is this the year the Bills get it done? You said they were contenders. In
all fairness, like let's let everyone just go back 10 seconds to where I said that Vic Fangio would be better, and I said Kellen Moore would be better. I said this defense would.
I didn't say all that. I did say it.
That's what I'm saying. Like where like that to you that was like common knowledge. And again, I thought Philly would be good too. Philly was my division winners for that one. I thought it would just be common knowledge that Josh Allen, first of all, they had a competent enough defense. They looked like they had pieces that they could build around. You still had Sean McDermott at the helm. He doesn't like. I don't think that the whole Diggs thing was like huge. Again, like it was huge for everyone else, but like he still had some. He had James Cook. Like they are a running defense too. What's up, Q?
I said all this.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't
understand. The past
I just don't understand. I never understood. I was like, it's too early. Okay, like I was kind of just like we saw the schedule. We knew the games they'd win. I feel like you could pencil in a lot of these. Sure, the blowout game versus Baltimore hurt.
You were not pissing Atlanta 49ers before they got hurt.
Bro, the Derrick Henry on the first drive of the game scored an 85-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
After that, you knew the game was over. Like it's like you knew it's whatever. You talking
so, I guess my answer to that, Latif, is I hope so. I honestly hope, and again, I like Patrick Mahomes a lot. I think that I want to see greatness. I want to see like the era of football that I'm watching be like one of the best of all time. And I think in order for that to happen, I think Josh Allen needs to go get a ring. I think this Bills Chiefs Super Bowl needs to take on a new rivalry of its own Because right now, it's the Bills winning all the meaningless games while the Chiefs keep taking home the hardware. And Josh Allen really needs to get one of his own. And to be honest, the MVP doesn't even do much for that rivalry, doesn't even do much for the whole who's the best quarterback in the league.
Whoa.
I'm serious.
If he wins MVP, beats Mahomes.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm going to get into.
In the summer, they're going to be talking. There's going to be who's the best quarterback in the league right now. Not who's the greatest career, but who's the best quarterback right now.
That's what I'm trying to get into. All I'm saying is, in a world where they don't do those last two things, they don't beat Mahomes and they don't win the Super Bowl, the MVP means nothing. That's what I'm saying. I agree. If you do that, again, I'll disagree, but the narrative will be set 100%. If he wins the MVP and he beats Mahomes and all this, people will talk about that. I will simply disagree. I will say Pat Mahomes is still the best quarterback in the world, and not worry about it. But I think that for this rivalry to happen, I really think that the NFL has something on their hands where you have two amazing transcendent quarterbacks where the Bills show they can beat the Chiefs just in the games that don't matter. So I really think that – do I honestly think they win? I don't know. I guess I'll stick on the side of no right now, just for the fact that if they have to beat the Chiefs and then go beat a good Detroit team or Philly team. I'll see what they do against Detroit. Honestly, that'll probably dictate what I think the Bills will do. And again, this is with the really
they're going to blow Detroit out.
It's more like I think Josh Allen will cook their defense, right? I'm not really worried about that. They have so many injuries. I want to see how Detroit can play against Baltimore, against Buffalo's defense. That's really I want to see the Detroit offense versus Buffalo's defense. That's more what I'm looking at because I honestly think that Josh Allen kills that team, kills that defense with how many people are out. And I just think he could throw the football and they just can't go. You know what I mean? I think Shakir has an insane game that game. I think Khalil Shakir might go for some nasty numbers because they can't guard the slot sometimes. The DBs are not helping. Like
they can't guard the slot. They can't guard running backs. And they're susceptible to the deep pass.
And that's like I honestly that's what I'm saying. Where they cook him.
I think the Lions offense can. The Bills.
That's what I'm saying. That's going to decide the game. That'll decide the game. The game will be decided by the Bills defense and the Lions offense. That will show me how the game.
If anything, it'll be a shootout. I think if anything, it'll be a shootout.
I agree. That's exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying.
At the end of
the day, if
they don't have the horses on defense to stop Buffalo right now.
All I'm saying is that if it turns into a shootout, Detroit has the advantage where they can pound the rock and they can keep the clock. Like they can literally just maintain the clock and win the game by literally just running the football.
Yeah, I still think the Lions with all the injuries are still the best.
Huh?
I think the Lions are defenses in the league.
All I'm saying is Detroit might be one of the best run, I guess, but Detroit's O-line and their two running back, obviously their two-headed running back room. If they can get up and score points and then make it just a long death for Buffalo, could work.
Yeah, Max. I'm like, I thought that was cute at first.
No, come
on.
What happened right there? My phone just rang. Did I just cut out?
Yeah. I don't know, man. The Bills, I'm always gonna be skeptical with them, with their coaching, and how the defense performs can play all the time. It's really been a downfall. Josh Allen, for the most part, has been amazing in the playoffs. And the defense has failed them every time. So I'm gonna hold out on that. I don't know if it's a year. But if it's any year, it has to be this year. With how the Chiefs look vulnerable, the Ravens look vulnerable. This has to be the year the Bills get it done. Because I don't think the Chiefs are going to go on like this too much longer. The Chargers are going to be better next year. I think the Texans will probably be better next year. I think the AFC as a whole will probably get a little bit better next year. So if this is the year. This is probably the year that the Bills should definitely. This is probably one of their better chances. Huh?
Aren't they going to get better next year too?
They could. For sure. They can.
Why is it they can, but the other teams are definitely they're going to get better?
I think the AFC will get better.
They're definitely like in the offseason when you tried to make Houston above the Bills and I wasn't going for it. They're clearly a step above the rest of the AFC outside of Baltimore and Kansas City. So if they get better, they're not going to get multiple steps better without Buffalo still getting better also. So they're still going to be a cut above the rest because they got the second best quarterback in the league.
The Chargers with probably one or two weapons will be pushed into contention.
Sure. But Buffalo will still be there, and they'll also get better. You'll get a.
I'm just saying this is their best chance. With the AFC being not great this year, the Chiefs not being that great.
Chargers are already handicapped by playing in the division with the Chiefs. So at most they're always going to be at most they could be, as long as the Chiefs are who we think they are going to be a 5th seed at best. The Bills are always going to be at best a 4th seed. They're usually going to be a 2 or 3 seed, and they might get the 1 seed this year. They're gonna be hovering in those top 3 seats every year. The Chargers are always gonna be a wild card team. That's already a step below.
Do you agree this is probably the best chance they had so far in Josh Allen's career?
Second best.
And which was the first best?
The 13-second game. I think that year if they beat the Chiefs, they win the Super Bowl.
Who did the Chiefs play in that Super Bowl?
The Chiefs did not make the Super Bowl. The Bengals did.
Oh, okay.
And they lost to the Rams. The Bills beef. The Bills, Josh Allen versus the Rams is like Josh Allen versus the Dolphins.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if he wins that.
No.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if he wins that. That team was elite.
He wins that.
They did play in the regular season. That was a regular season game. I remember that game when
that was the first game the first game right after the Rams won the Super Bowl and they violated them. Blew them out. Sure.
But let's talk about the 49ers. They got some decisions to make. Their season is probably over. They're 5-7 now. Their season is probably over with injuries. They have CMC and Ayuk and a whole cast of injuries. I want to start off first. Question is, should the 49ers pay Brock Purdy this offseason? I think Brock Purdy is a good NFL quarterback. He does not deserve to be paid top of the market dollars. I don't care if that's what the market says should happen for quarterbacks. With the 49ers' current cap situation, the players they have in their roster, it will not make sense to give Brock Purdy the most money in the NFL. It just makes no sense.
Can I ask one question when you're done? When you're done with this little thing, I just want to ask one question.
When I'm done. As soon as you pay Brock Purdy, and I think his money hits literally next year, as soon as you pay him.
No.
2 years?
No, one more. Like next year is his last year on the contract.
Okay. As soon as you pay Brock Purdy, your window gets a lot smaller. It gets a lot smaller because then he'll have to elevate rosters that aren't nearly as talented as the ones he's had these past few seasons. And I don't think he's a level quarterback to do that. Brock Purdy, without a great roster, is not going to win you a Super Bowl. He's not that good to do that. I am never in favor of paying the 15th best quarterback, the 13th best quarterback in the NFL, top of the line money, because that type of quarterback is not going to elevate your roster to get to Super Bowl contention. So I think he should. If they say $40 million, yes. 45, probably yes. 50, 55, 60, probably not. No, I'm not gonna lie. No, we've seen Kyle Shanahan take Jimmy Garoppolo to the Super Bowl. We've seen him do that.
In the another NFC championship game.
He does not need the most talented quarterback in the NFL to win games. The 49ers don't need the most talented quarterback in the NFL to win games. So they should not be just bowing down and giving Brock Purdy whatever he wants. Because it doesn't make sense for their team and where they're at right now. They have too much money allocated to other players. They just paid Brandon Ayuk. They paid Deebo Samuel, who I think his contract is expiring, though. He's not good enough for them to offer that. And this season is showing that. I know he's been good this season a little. He's been okay. He's been okay. I don't know, but you see, like when the talent gets worse, he is not going to keep up the same level of production that he's been able to do over the last few seasons. Hold on, and also they wasted basically a season and a half of CMC being healthy. Now he had Achilles tendonitis. He's had his PCL injury. I highly doubt CMC is going to come back the same player. We know he was injury prone for a long time, and they got injury luck for 2 years. and they did not win the Super Bowl. The 49ers window is closing, and it's closing fast. Now, Max, you can ask me a question.
Who is next then as the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, if not Brock Purdy? What is your move that you make?
That don't matter.
Franchise tag him.
Huh?
Franchise tag him.
See?
No, I said after, though.
It doesn't
Franchise tag him. Franchise tag him. See how he plays on that franchise tag, and then we can have a conversation about paying him money.
So you're still fine keeping Brock Purdy?
Yes, he's a good quarterback.
He's cool. We was talking in Discord, and Ant was talking about he's been great. I'd say he's been just about as good as he was last year. Just the stats and the numbers aren't the same because everything else isn't the same on the roster. It just gradually got worse through injuries and whatnot. They play so physical as a team. Like when you get those good years where everybody's healthy in their play style, they go to the Super Bowl. That very next year, you deal with all the injury luck. That same thing happened after the Jimmy G Super Bowl. The very next year, they missed the playoffs because everybody got hurt. Jimmy got hurt. Nick Bosa got hurt. Like nobody was playing games. They get healthy again. NFC Championship game. You can't pay Brock Purdy $60 million because you need to pay. You need other great players around him unless they're going to draft super well. And usually their premium first and second round picks aren't the picks that pan out. It's usually those late round picks. You can't keep banking on your 4th, 5th, and 6th round picks to hit off. Sometimes you got to just have to take a lot of cracks at the apple in the first 3 rounds and try to get some real talent. If you franchise tag him, he's not going to scoff at that because he's been playing for $1 million. He's going to be able to get $42 million right up front. That'd be the most money he's made. Like he's basically made 10 times as much as he's made since he's been in the NFL right there off the franchise tag. And if you got to do it again, do it again. If he didn't prove anything, but at least you got him locked up. You can't do crazy things with the cap, but you got him at a solid number. You have wiggle room to work around him. If you're going to do that, then you got to make the hard choices and move off your Trent Williams, your Debo's, your Kittles, your Tre'Davious Ward. Like try to fill some cap seasons, trade up, get some draft capital so you can replenish those players. That's the only way you're going to be able to have Brock Purdy on your team for making a decent amount of money. You got to have everything around him, and you got to have cheap young talent. That's what you got to do. Right now, they got a bunch of old talent. They're injury prone. They just paid CMC like $20 million a year. They're stuck with that for the next 2 years. And if you're not the same, and this offense don't run, Brock Purdy not a superstar. The only way you overcome injuries and suspect special teams and suspect coaching in moments is if you have a superstar quarterback, and Brock Purdy not that. He's good. He's not great. So you can't pay good quarterbacks great money because then your team takes a hit, and that's something you just can't come back from.
I really got nothing to say on this. They are so beat up and injured. It's really tough to really, I'm going to say, blame anyone right now. The teams just look rough. I think that this is where we see, and again, even Brock Purdy's kind of beat up at times this year too. He was injured. I think he missed 2-3 games. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe 2. This is where we expect kind of where people put Brock Purdy in these conversations or put him in the past these conversations of he's top 10, he's top 15, whatever. This is situations where we can kind of see who he is, right? Is he going to elevate this team without your Brandon Ayuk, without your CMC, without whoever else? And it really hasn't shown that at all. So as far as getting money, I agree with the franchise tag. I really don't have anything else. They're just in a really tough spot with all the injuries. Like no one can stay healthy. Their entire team's out, and they're playing with some backups at this point in time. And when you're paying all those guys that are injured, top tier money, you can't really make many moves on all the margins. So.
Yeah, it's over for them, bro. I saw this coming for years started. I knew your window was closing because as soon as you got to pay Brock Purdy, your window gets smaller. I said that. I swear I said that.
When I said they weren't winning the division, y'all looked at me crazy.
Who you picked?
Well, they would have won. If they were healthy, they would have won the division.
I had the Rams, but like I knew that. I knew this was coming down the pipeline, bro. I seen it already.
If they were winning, if they were healthy, I think they were still winning.
When they were healthy in the beginning of the season, they were 2-2. They had just got blown out by the Vikings.
They have CMC.
They had Jordan Mason who went for $150 and $150.
Ooh, that's cool. He's not CMC though.
Does not open up the game.
But the offense didn't miss a beat. Like it was fine. The offense is still fine today. Like the offense isn't the problem. Like their offense was perfectly fine. Nobody was saying the offense was the reason why they would lose the games. Oh, they don't got CMC. Oh my God.
I don't think the offense is perfectly fine. I think it's a lot worse than last year for sure. All right, let's talk about the Bears, man. Bears finally fired Matt Eberflus. I seen Jaden and Max's reaction on TikTok, so I know they're very, very overjoyed. I don't know who you guys wanted to be the next head coach, so that's really the question. Who do we think should be the next head coach of the Chicago Bears? Like, who do you want the most? Let's start with Q. No, let's start with Max. Who do you want?
Max?
To be honest, I don't know. I'm just gonna start off with that. I don't know.
Wait, I saw your story. You said Bill Belichick. I guess it was troll. Was that troll?
Oh, 100% troll. 100% troll. Let's not be serious about that. Come on. It'd be fun. But like, no, I'm trolling. I have some Patriots friends.
He hates Caleb.
Yeah, I'm not picking Bill. I'll be honest. The politically correct hire right now is Ben Johnson. The most Bears hire would be Mike Vrabel. The perfect fit would be Mike Vrabel. I don't know though. I really need to sit here and wait. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want what's his name in Tampa? Liam Cohen. Cohen, that's what it is. Yeah. I don't want to go for this. I don't think I want him. I don't want Joe Brady. I don't want Marcus Freeman. Don't give me Notre Dame's head coach. I've been seeing that the last couple of days.
Yo, what?
That's his role. The one thing, the report I saw was like the Bears are really honing in on a leader of men, and they really want. No, I don't want Marcus Freeman. I don't know. The only issue is whether I agree with it or not. It has to be the right hire, and like this isn't someone where like, okay, yeah, I hope it's no. Like I said it in the TikTok, it is single-handedly the most important choice in Bears history. This is the most important move in Bears history. Because if you set Caleb back, another head coach, you are ruining the career. Like, simple as that. He's not going to deal with 3 head coaches, and I don't think he'll deal with 3 head coaches and fully reach his potential. If you fuck up this head coaching hire, it's done. As far as Caleb being a transcendent, generational, next-level quarterback, I really think that if this next coaching hire is done, he's got to learn a whole new offense with whatever else they bring in and everything. When I was thinking offense, don't hire Cliff Kingsbury as a head coach. We saw that whole song and dance before. I don't know why this is a thing. I don't believe that either. So if you want to give Ben Johnson that hire and go the offensive route, again, we have not seen Ben Johnson as a head coach. We know his offensive sets are great. We know what he can do with an offense. Obviously, when he has the pieces, though, too. We've never seen him run a team, though, and that kind of scares me a little bit. We've seen Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel has led great Tennessee Titans teams. He's led great defenses. He's put out good, competent offenses with his OCs, but he has put winners out there. He killed Tom Brady in the one playoff. He killed the Tom Brady Patriots in that game. He has led number 1 seeds in the playoffs.
Who's your pick, Max? I'm sorry, I got lost.
I'm saying, like, I'm going back and forth between those two. To be honest, if you had to put gun to my head who I really had to pick right now, to be honest, I would go the safe route and go the proven route and probably go with Mike Vrabel. But again, if you hire Ben Johnson, I can't say no. I'm nervous because I haven't seen him as a head coach yet. And right now, taking a shot in the dark, it has to be a home run. Because if it's like, I think there's so many names out there where it's like Aaron Glenn. Again, put together good work. He's been in Detroit for a while, never been a head coach. You're saying Liam Cohen, Joe Brady, Marcus Freeman on the NFL level. Like, again, we know Cliff Kingsbury. We know what he did in Arizona, and he got fired. The offenses are great. Not hiring him as an OC, that was the mistake. We should not make up for that by hiring him as our head coach. I don't agree with that. So honestly, if you want me to give you a person, I would probably say Vrabes, and then next up will probably be Ben Johnson.
Thank you. There's an answer because I know what you're gonna say, Q, and I'm gonna probably echo the same thing. I know what you're gonna say. When you have a generational QB talent in this league, you need to pair him with an offensive mind. It's that simple. Mike Vrabel cannot be the coach, as great of a head coach as he is, because you're going to consistently have to find OC after OC after OC to fit with Caleb. That's not a good formula. You see, Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, my bad. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are locked in. They don't have to keep getting a new OC because it don't matter because Andy Reid is calling the plays. When you have a superstar quarterback, you need to pair them with the offensive mind so they can form familiarity with that coach. And it's easier to find defensive coordinators and other type of coaches. It just makes the most sense when you have a special quarterback like that. I think defensive coaches can win championships, but in recent history, it's been what? Tom and Bill. Sure, but it's Tom Brady, and it's like
I think I broke it down.
I don't know.
Super Bowl has pretty much been offensive head coaches.
Bruce Arians, Sean McVay, Andy Reid, Doug Peterson.
Yeah, keep going. It's all offensive.
I'm trying to think. Harbaugh.
He's not offensive, but he's
Carroll.
He's a special teams coach.
Pete Carroll, John Fox.
Defensive.
John Fox defense.
Yeah,
I'm naming the last couple coaches.
Yeah, it's only been Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll, and John Fox. But John Fox ain't win a Super Bowl.
Who won it was it Kubiak?
Yeah, Gary Kubiak won the Super Bowl.
Was Kubiak back? My fault.
Yeah, and Peyton, and I take the slack when it comes to Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. We talking about two of the players that Peyton Manning was the offense by himself. He didn't need an OC.
Yep.
So,
so yeah. My solution would be throw the house at Ben Johnson. I think he will work wonders for Caleb's career, and that's your best asset on the team. So you need to prioritize whatever Caleb needs and wants. Honestly, whoever Caleb wants, go do it immediately. I mean, he's the entire franchise. So,
not Thomas Brown, though.
Not Thomas Brown, no. Thomas Brown has not shown you enough at all. No.
Q, can I ask you are you going to agree with him?
Yes, but there's still like some other things.
I was going to say my only question mark is why did I just lose it? Get in your spiel. I just lost what I was going to say.
It's Ben Johnson. Like she said, you pair your quarterback, your extremely talented quarterback. You pair that with an offensive mind. You want to have him for basically. If things work out well, you basically got your quarterback and your coach for the next 15 years, constantly growing, constantly evolving. You got the same verbiage. You know the plays. Eventually, you'll be able to take off the wristband because y'all already in sync. Y'all been doing this. Y'all spending multiple years in the rooms together, so you don't got to constantly learn somebody new and know their nuances and how they want to run things, and they make constant tweaks. Y'all doing it together because he's comfortable, you're comfortable, everything works. That's how it goes. You have to throw the bag at them because the Bears are not a good organization. So you got to be able to be like, listen, I need money and I need control. And that's the only way Ben Johnson probably wants to go there.
So that's what I was going to say. Why would Ben Johnson take this job? One, because you're going in division. You're going to have to play the Lions twice a year. And two, with how much dysfunction the Bears organization has output in the last 20 years, what makes Ben Johnson's first coaching hire, which we know, getting hired to an NFL coach, like this first job is super important to keep you on this level. So what do you guys think is the reasoning past, is it literally just saying you have Caleb Williams? Like, I don't understand really, unless you throw a bag at him and you get power and you have a great quarterback. Like,
he has to get the power. Bears outside of the Bears have a young, talented quarterback, a very good roster with you could argue the roster is damn near top 10 if you really just run through the players. You could argue it. I say top 15, but you could argue top 10. And they got $70 million in cap space. Those are three very enticing things. If Ben Johnson could get assurances from Ryan Poles and them that he can, oversee what they got going on, because now they letting Kevin Warren make decisions, and he's like a math guy. He was used to get them a stadium. He's not really a football head, so he's kind of running things right now. You gotta let the football people do football things, and if Ben Johnson can get that, then yeah, you go Ben Johnson right away. I'm not gonna say no to Vrabel, because if Ben Johnson don't like what they got to offer, Mike Vrabel probably won't. But you also got to throw the bag at him. He at least had this team in those 1-score games turn into wins just because you got Mike Vrabel.
I agree, and he'll keep this competitive.
To the Patriots, a good organization with another very talented quarterback, and you lost out on him, and you're either stuck with Liam Cohen, who's I think is a good OC, good offensive mind. He hasn't shown me a lot yet, but for the past 2 years, he's been cool.
Joe Brady.
But I think you probably got to see one more year of it.
He keeps getting thrown around though.
It's the Josh Allen tax. Like you got Josh Allen, like you could figure it out. You could put out a competent offense with Josh Allen. He's damn near a top 10 offense by himself. But Ben Johnson's the answer. Like I think you just got to do what you got. I think you got to change your mind. Like the Lions changed they went from a bad organization to a good one just by letting the football people do football things. Yeah. And now they're a good organization. I think you got to change. You got to shift. You just got to shift. And the in division thing, that's a good thing for the Bears. Offensively,
I'm saying for Ben Johnson's standpoint though.
Yeah, for Ben Johnson, that's a good thing because he knows what the Lions want to do. He knows what they're good at, what they're bad at, and on defense, he could relay that message to his defensive coordinator. Like, here's how we stop this, because who knows how to stop his offense better than himself. Like he knows, like you already get the intricacies, so you already had the upper hand on one whole team, and you already been placing those other teams already, so you're fine. It's like Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh for the next 2-3 years in the draft, he already has the upper hand because he's watched those same players for 4 years now, so he knows the talent where he sees it. Like certain things just give you a little boost. Those type of things really help you.
So you said Ben Johnson. No, I agree. I think as far as Caleb is obviously the reason you should come. I mean, there's a lot of dysfunction. The Bears have been a terrible organization for my entire lifetime. But you got Caleb Williams. You got Roman Dunze, who looks like he could be a really, really good receiver. DJ Morris is still there. Keenan Allen is on an expired contract, so he need to pay. But Keenan Allen still has good football left in him, I think. Even though he's old, as long as you use him correctly. Defense has a lot of talent on the defense with the money and the draft capital to get better. This entire team has the money and draft capital to get better. The offensive line needs work. All that type of stuff.
The D-line, the O-line and the D-line need work.
They have the draft capital, the money to make this work. They just need a culture change. That's the problem. The culture is ass. So that's the real problem. But he has to take on a challenge. And to be honest, what other spots on the market are much better? Like, look, where else will he go?
With last year,
the Patriots have a great organization.
You think Rob Mayo's getting fired?
If I could get Ben Johnson, I'd cook him. I'd pay that. I'd pay his bread for the next 3 years. I don't care.
I guess I feel like, again, if he would have gone last year,
he could have gone to the Bears last year.
We didn't have that coach. Head coaching vacancy never happened.
If they wanted him, if he really wanted, they would pay for him.
Yeah, interesting. Ben Johnson last year though.
Yeah, like
as an OC, I believe we were talking about the OC, which is crazy.
They was interested. It just ain't happened.
To be honest, I don't know why he didn't go to the Chargers.
The Chargers Jim Harbaugh. That was pretty much.
I think that would have been probably one of the best matches possible. But again, I will not be opposed to getting Ben Johnson in the slightest. I just think that it's like I hope that him as a head coach.
What spots make more sense? I'm talking about like take the Patriots. The Patriots don't have a head coach opening right now. I'll also fire Gerard.
Still has a job,
huh?
You think Doug Peterson's still gonna have a job?
No, but yeah, he's gonna get fired. I don't think Gerard Mayo's gonna get fired at his first year.
I think there's a possibility he could get.
The Patriots are not an organization to fire someone in 1 year. I don't think.
So the Jaguars. Do you think Jaguars or Bears are more enticing? Because both of them organizations have been dysfunctional. You have a quarterback. You have a quarterback on a rookie deal with a better roster with probably more money. So
$75 million.
So Bears and the Jags. Bears, right? Are we being serious?
Why am I seeing stuff about Kyle Shanahan getting fired?
Come on, bro.
That is the dumbest thing ever.
The fan base not.
If Kyle Shanahan gets fired, I want him as the Bears head coach. I'll move him to number 1 spot.
What team, Max?
What
team outside the Bears looks like a better situation?
I was saying last year I would have gone to the Chargers. If you're saying it's locked up, whatever.
I'm talking about right now.
Yeah, I guess just like I think you're waiting for like teams that are a year away from firing someone.
So nobody. I think we had this conversation in the Discord. I forgot which teams we said. It was somebody. It was one team over the Bears. I just forgot who it was.
The Giants, the Jets.
No, either one.
They'll both get coaches.
Raiders,
Washington had a dysfunctional franchise, but again, Washington, Chicago, and
Washington anymore.
Huh?
It's not the same Washington anymore.
I agree. I'm saying last year. Washington, New England, and Chicago, I all thought would be attractive places to go because you have a chance to pick quarterbacks in a quarterback-heavy class. But we're good. Hop on next.
Chiefs squeaked by the Raiders. That's the Ravens. I meant Ravens. I mean Raiders. We were supposed to talk about them last week, barely beating the Panthers. Then they just barely beat the Raiders. They got some more devil magic to squeak by this game. The question is, Max, because we had this conversation a little bit a week ago. At what point are we gonna actually get concerned about the Chiefs?
Again,
everybody's saying, "Oh, they won 2 championships in a row. They have Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce. They'll just flip the switch in the playoffs and make a run to the Super Bowl." That's the overwhelming thought process. At what point do we actually get concerned about this year's team? Not the team 2 years ago, this year's team. At what point do we get concerned?
My quote exactly is, everyone has issues. I still struggle to find many teams that would beat Kansas City in a playoff game.
But you see how you move? Because Teeth, because
thank you.
You talking about some this year's team, but a lot of your takes and things have to do with a lot of what the teams did before and using that for what's happening now. And they don't have the same Jets.
The Jets have no history.
It's not like the Eagles are. It's not like the Eagles are bad. I'm not trying to say the Eagles are bad.
Has no history of doing anything. So I'm definitely not using stuff from last year. I'm not.
They won 7 games with bad QB play. Of course, they're gonna win 10 games if they got Aaron Rodgers.
That's true.
So that's
in the beginning of the year when we had the Niners and the Ravens high on the power rankings because of what they did last year, even though they weren't looking good in the beginning. It's like, it's the Ravens and the Niners. Let's keep them up there, but we're not looking at this year's football team. All of that, if you want to look at last year's teams and things like that, use those teams to judge these, like the current teams, you can do that as long as they won. And since, because the Chiefs, they move in the same way. They don't not look as good as they did before, but at least they won. So you can hang your head up on rings. Anybody can hang their head up on rings and having the best quarterback in the league. That's perfectly fine. You could do that. Don't get burned when they go into the playoffs this year, make it to the Super Bowl and win again. Because then that's 3 straight years we done doubted Patrick Mahomes, and 3 straight years he shut us up. Be careful, bro.
It's weird that the number one.
You're on Patrick Mahomes fan. I would never doubt him. That's just not what
happening. But you are.
Concern and doubt are 2 different things.
I mean,
I am concerned.
You said you're picking Philly to win the Super Bowl.
12 games of mediocre football, even though they won a lot of these games, and they don't
you picked Philly to win the Super Bowl.
Never accept anything in a win that you would not in a loss. That's what we have to live by. I understand they have the history, the pedigree. I understand they had the best quarterback in the NFL and the best coach in the NFL, and arguably the best defensive coordinator in the NFL. But their tackles suck. Their secondary isn't good. The receivers are questionable.
Okay, so hold on. Wait.
Actually, since Mahomes got D-Hop, he's been statistically one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
No, I saw that. I saw that. And the offense is still scoring 19, 21. Like, bro, like it's nasty, bro.
Latif, I don't think Latif.
I'm watching a team claw out victories between the Raiders and the Panthers and barely beating the Broncos. I don't know how I'm supposed to be confident in that. I am concerned because they're scratching out wins against trash ass teams. They are not blowing anyone out. That's not a formula for success. They were doing that last year, but I don't think we're doing it against like trash teams. Also the Raiders, but like were they doing it against trash teams?
They were losing. They were moving. They were playing just like they are now, but they were losing games last year.
Let me look at
Like
last
they
year.
were playing exactly the same
Hold
way
on,
they
I got
played.
it. I got it, Latif. I got it.
They were like 9-6. They were like they were like 7-6 or something like that going into
7-6.
Christmas.
Yes, they dropped. Actually, in the last couple of games, they beat the Chargers by 1 point last game of the season. They beat Cincinnati by 8. They lost to Las Vegas. They only beat the Patriots by 10. They lost to Philly. They lost to Green Bay and Buffalo. Was Tua not out? Was Tua injured last year? Was he injured this game?
No, he was
In the
there.
regular season,
They weren't blowing people out last year, so I don't know where that narrative came from.
I never said they were. I literally just said that. I never said they were blowing people out last year.
But your quote,
I'm
your
taking
issue was that they weren't blowing people out in this year, which is weird.
Yes,
they haven't
I'm
been
taking
ball
stuff.
in 2
I'm taking
years.
stuff on a year-to-year basis. They
Understand?
as bad as they looked last year, they could lean on their defense being elite, and that's really what got them to the Super Bowl. Like Mahomes was
Latif,
great and all that stuff.
Can I ask you one question?
Their defense is questionable. It's questionable. I'm sorry.
Yep,
Their
it's
defense is
fine.
not.
No one's disagreeing with you, buddy. All I'm saying is name me one other team besides Buffalo that you are worried that the Chiefs are like looking far inferior than.
I didn't say they don't look far inferior than Buffalo right now. I never said that. I'm saying I'm concerned. Listen,
in a one game playoff scenario where the
Mahomes
Chiefs had a upper seed
Patrick
against
Mahomes
the
is my
majority of
guy.
everybody.
Patrick Mahomes is my guy. I'm not trying to be a contender. I'm trying to reach greatness. I want to be the GOAT debate over. I need a 3P. I don't have time to be a contender. We need to be head and above over everybody, not in the middle of the pack. And last year, the defense is what I'm not gonna lie, bro. They won the game against Ravens to their defense. They were able to make plays in the end of the game. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes stepped up in the playoffs. He was amazing. They won that, bro. How much credit are we giving Patrick Mahomes for the Super Bowl run? Probably what 60, 70, 60?
I think that's fair. I think he played great in the Miami game. I think he played very good versus Buffalo. That Buffalo game, I think Josh Allen outplayed Patrick Mahomes. I think Tyler Bass missed a field goal. The defense played. They didn't win the Baltimore game because of Patrick Mahomes. They only scored 17 points, and that was like at halftime. Like Lamar,
don't make the Super Bowl.
21 points on the board, damn near. Super Bowl, you could give like
that was Mahomes in the second half. Mahomes in the second half was
because the defense, like the Niners, the first 4 drives went up and down on the defense and like scored like 3 times in a row. So like they got him there. Patrick Mahomes just finished it off. But that's how he's been playing all year. First, because with the Eagles, their first halves are slow. Some throw out the narrative that they're testing, they're trying things out, whatever, keep it's close, and then the second half they go all out. You can argue the Chiefs are doing the same thing. They're just all those shots to Worthy to try and get something going. That's just building chemistry. So I know exactly how I gotta hit you once we get to the bigger games. You're trying things out. Hopefully your defense keeps it close so that way you have time to figure things out. And then once it gets close, Patrick Mahomes on third down and in the fourth quarter is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But I will be worried because that secondary is not good. They're getting carved up. Trent McDuffie this year is getting legitimately he's getting fried. Like, and it's not wide receiver, it's wide receiver 1s and 2s. Like, he's getting beat because now Snead is not there. Like, there's not no real boundary corner out there, so you're forcing him outside, and everybody else just isn't as good. They're not up to par. Like, Trent cool, but if he's getting burnt, everybody else definitely getting burnt, and that's not suitable. Like, Bryce Young, he's talented. Regardless of what he did last year, he's still a talented quarterback. He showed he can shoot. Aiden O'Connell should not be a starter in this league, and he went for 300 on him. Granted, it's Brock Purdy, and that's an amazing talent, but somebody got to throw the ball. And he's immobile. He's not doing anything. Like, Chris Jones not getting home. I understand. Like, I believe in the flip the switch thing too because I've seen him do it in 4 quarters and just be good in 4 quarters. But I think that might be due to age because they can't do it for 4 quarters straight anymore. And everybody else is just not adding up. Like, the draft picks ain't hitting them. They're injured up and down. Like, it's another team that go through playoff runs. It's constant wear and tear. And I don't think they got enough, what's like not nutrition, whatever it is. We just can't, put it together.
I don't know how we have watch Bryce Young have to that date the best game of his career, probably Bo Nix to that point had the best game of his career. We watched Aiden O'Connell have the best game of his career against these defenses, and then we're not looking like in the complete all time. I think the Ravens can score on them, which I think they also can score on the Ravens though. The Bills can score on them. Bro, like this, I would pick the Chiefs against probably anybody, but like it'd be some weird shit like the Steelers beat them or something like that. It'd be some crazy.
About to say, the Steelers, I don't think they're gonna lose to the Steelers, but TJ Watt, based on what he can do against those tackles, he might single-handedly make that game a 13-12 ball game going into the fourth quarter. Like just him by like he might get a touchdown by himself.
You're not concerned at all, Max. You watching Ado kind of look like Tom Brady.
You don't listen to anything I have to say. I just said the Bills are probably the best team in the AFC. I said that like 15, 20 minutes ago. All I'm saying is that one, they are a contender. In my opinion, they're a contender for the simple fact you put them in a situation in January on a Saturday or a Sunday. There are very few teams, especially in the AFC, that I'm very confident that are going to beat them. So I will go with the Chiefs. And in that situation, yes, they have issues. Every team has issues. I agree there are glaring holes. But Pat Mahomes bridges that gap 9 times out of 10. He showed that in the past. So,
all right, we got young QB spotlight. We got a few questions about young quarterbacks. Has Bryce shown enough to save his job? Has Bryce shown enough this season to give the Panthers confidence that he's a franchise quarterback?
No, but he gets a little bit more time to show that. I think he's got some good building blocks over the past couple of games. This is the best stretch I feel like maybe he's ever looked like. Is that fair? In the NFL, these past couple of games have been the best things he ever looked like. And I think as long as he doesn't completely blow it up the rest of the year, they have a pretty good schedule. And you can kind of squeak out a couple of these good games, maybe get another win or two. You mess up your draft position, but with that, you kind of think, hey, we got some stuff going forward. Let's try and go get him another X. He's looking like he can do something. Let's go get him some more O-line or help out the defensive side, get a tight end, whatever it is. You like your running back position. Chuba over the years shown he's pretty okay. They're pretty good. Okay, is not great. He's been pretty good this year. You have Jonathan Brooks as RB2. You have receiving pieces. Nothing that's really great, or you really want to keep going forward. So I think if you want to try out the Deontay Johnson thing again and go get another X, it could be a play, whether you draft or sign someone to free agency. But I definitely think that he, with these past couple of games, has got to give him confidence going into next year that maybe you can keep building on this. And he could put together a pretty I'm not going to say career. I'm not trying to like over predict right now. I'm just saying like he could put together a pretty good run for the next whatever year and a half.
I think he bought himself another year. He shouldn't be looking for a quarterback in this draft to replace Bryce Young because as of right now, I still think I'd not take him over anybody in this draft right now currently. Next year though, that draft class is a lot better. So that gives Bryce Young a full 17 to show what he got. That'd be his third year. You technically have to pick his fifth year option. If they don't pick him up, obviously you trade him, draft a quarterback. Past 5 weeks, this has been the best stretch of his career. Even though they lost the Denver game, he played well. He played well in that Denver game. Played well against the Giants. Played well against the Chiefs, and he played well yesterday. He's cool. Obviously, like I just say, he's talented. I still don't believe in him fully because I just like a certain type of quarterbacks that I like. So I think that matters a lot more. But if you got to build around him first, like really actually try to build around him, put the piece around him, see what you got. If he doesn't work out, at least you got the pieces already built for the next quarterback to come in.
I'm gonna do the Brian Windhorst quick. Let's not forget though, Bryce Young was in trade rumors. He was like people thinking he wanted to get cut. Like I agree, he was out of a job for next year 5 weeks ago, and this last little stretch has put him back into contention. Where yes, he is the Carolina Panthers guy as of right now, at least for next year. But how much a couple weeks can change for sure.
I said this year that Bryce Young.
This cannot be a victory lap. I'm not gonna lie. This cannot be a victory lap right here because that's terrible. That's
Listen, I said Bryce Young will have a breakout season this year. I'm not gonna lie. Whatever you think has happened,
it's trending upward.
It looks like a breakout year to me. Considering what
I'm not gonna lie. Week 14, whatever. Week 10.
it looks like a breakout year to me because considering what he did last year, this is definitely a breakout.
Can we go back to the clips where you've given up on this? Because you've made the joke about this take. You have made jokes about this.
Now I said he was having a breakout season this year, and it looked like that's happening. I wasn't wrong, just a little bit early. So, listen, I said that he would prove that he should have been the #1 pick in this class.
He did not prove that.
This is the worst #1 pick in a class of all time.
Man, I think I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not even trying to overreact, but especially if he finishes the year off like this, I feel like the pick is justified. I mean, he got to prove a little bit more in his next year too as well. Not saying that he's better than CJ Stroud at all, but the stuff that he was doing in college that got him drafted #1 is starting to translate a little bit to NFL, where he's making plays and extended plays. Looks a little bit faster, looks a bit more confident, making throws that we saw him make in college. Like it's not he's literally elevating his roster. It's not like him playing in any type of system like that. He's making big time throws. I think he's made 10 big time throws to 1 turnover worthy play in the last 5 weeks. Bryce has been amazing. I'm still here, Bryce. I'm not giving up on you. Now, the thing is, he's so small, so it's like athletically, it's like you kind of need that. Him jump to make passes is still concerning. Him not being able to target the middle of the field that great still concerning as a quarterback. His stature and all that type of stuff. I don't know if he's gonna be able to get over that. But yeah, I mean, Bryce, he's definitely his bar of a year, and if he has another great year, I don't think he's gonna be better than CJ Stroud, but QB2 is gonna take it. And if you QB2 on the class, you know, hey, he was a better prospect coming out of college from a lot of people. If he turns out to be a good quarterback, it could be justified, from my opinion. Was the next quarterback is Anthony Richardson. Was the coach benching of AR? Did it prove to be the correct decision? Like, did it work? Q, what do you think?
I don't think so. It based off like, oh, he comes back and they're winning games and it looks like the 2-week break did some wonders for him. I don't think that's what it was. I just thought he was just a better option over who was Joe Flacco. Like, I just think he was just a better option. Like, the games that Anthony Richardson played in, they won. Like, he won 4 games previously before getting the benching. When they played Joe Flacco, they lost. Like, he made a judgment. He made a not a rookie mistake, but a young quarterback mistake. Something he had to learn from. Obviously, don't say those words again, and don't say it. Double down on it in a press conference and things like that, or tell a reporter like he made a small, like not a small mistake, but like he just did something he wasn't supposed to do, and they felt like they needed to punish him or something like that. They should have just played him. They probably could have won one or both of those games that he wasn't playing, and they sitting pretty like basically really in the thick of the playoff mix, like they still are now. Because AR came back and he's just a physical freak, so he's able to, get quick scores. He still has things to work on, but you knew that going in. He's a project. He has to play games to get better. Next year, he's going into year 3. You got to make a decision on picking up that 5th-year option. You have to play Anthony Richardson. They shouldn't be trying to put a belt to him, try to punish him when you really need him out there trying to get reps and get better.
I never supported that benching. When it first happened, I said it was dumb. I've always been on that side that they shouldn't have did it, and I think that's what his play since then. He wasn't the greatest against the Jets at all. They got.
I think he was good.
Not the Patriots.
Yeah.
Wasn't the greatest against the Patriots at all, but he did get the win. He did have the game-winning touchdown. Not the biggest fan of AR though. Still not the biggest fan of him. I think Bryce can be better than him. I'm not gonna lie. But I think it was still the wrong decision. I think it's proved that. Now I do have to go to class. I have a class at 6 o'clock. It's 6:01. So we're gonna do one last thing before I go. I have a star bench cut. Max, are you here, brother man? Okay. I don't know if we're gonna do star bench cut. Hold on. We're gonna pause this and then had a technical difficulty. But last topic of the podcast, we're gonna build a team with $15. Max will explain this.
All right, so I got for this year, I have 5 positions. You're gonna draft a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, a tight end, and then a defense and special teams. You're gonna have $1 to $5. Obviously, I'll say the prices for every person, but you guys have to build your team with $15, and you guys cannot pick the same person. I'm gonna need 2 different choices from both of you guys. All right, and I'm just gonna go with whoever I hear says it first. That's who I'm going with. All right. First up, your quarterback position. At $1, you get Taysom Hill. At $2, you get Derek Carr. At $3, you get Brock Purdy. $4, you get Baker Mayfield. And $5, you get Josh Allen.
Come on, dog.
Can you read the list again? My bad.
So Q's taking Josh Allen. So you don't get the $5 option. You get $1 Taysom Hill, $2 Derek Carr, $3 Brock Purdy, $4 Baker, and $5 was Josh.
I'll take Baker.
Okay, so you're taking Baker for 4. All right. Next up is your running back position. At $5, you got Saquon Barkley. $4, you got JT. $3, you have Chuba Hubbard. $2, you have Tank Bigsby. And $1, you have Bo Nix.
I'll take Saquon.
You're taking Saquon at
Give me
5.
Chuba.
I like that value. Yeah, current day Bo Nix, I didn't think we'd get a pick. All right, your wide receiver position. At $5, you have Jamar. $4, Terry McLaurin. $3, Jaden Reed. $2, Jerry Jeudy. $1, Tutu Atwell.
I'll take McLaurin. So that's,
Oh, yeah, you need tomorrow.
I got $13, right?
Yeah. Oh, I gotta go for the dollar options every time then.
I have 5.
So does Latif. You guys both got to go for the dollar options. So, I mean, I'll give it to both you guys at this point in time because that's all you got. For the tight end position, $5 was Brock Bowers, $4 Trey McBride, $3 Kate Otten, $2 Will Disley, and $1 you get current day Greg Olson. So you guys both are rocking out with current day Greg Olson. And for your defense and special teams, $5 was Pittsburgh, $4 was the Chargers, $3 was the Rams, $2 was Baltimore. You guys are both rocking out with the Georgia Bulldogs at your defense and kicker positions.
I'll take that.
I'll take that.
Well, they were last year. This year they've been all right. That's gonna do it for episode 123 of the Debate Room Podcast. You made it this far. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, and follow us on our social media platforms. I'm being late for the podcast, so make sure y'all show some love. And we are out.